parametric form, we say that find the value of t where the tangent lines to x equals 2t to the 3 plus 3t squared minus 12t and y equals 2 to the 3 plus 3t squared plus 1 has where the tangent lines to these are parallel. Can anyone tell me if tangent lines are parallel, what happens to the slope? Slope is 0, isn't it? Parallel tangents. So say that in this case dy dx will be 0. So we know that dy dx is dy dt dx dt. If you want to say this is 0, that means dy dt is 0, dx dt non-zero. Is that right? If we have 0 over 0, then it's not 0. So that's why we need to put restriction that dx dt must not be 0, and then we can start working on our problem. So we said that dy dt should be 0. So find dy dt. So dy dt 0 gives you 6t squared plus 6t and put equal to 0. If you solve for t, you will see that t equals 0 and t equals -1. All right. And then you need to test also what happens to dx dt. So my dx dt is 6t squared plus 60 60 minus 12. So when you plug t equals 0 in here, you see that this is not 0 at t is 0. And when you put -1 also, you see that it's not 0. So then these are the points. T equals 0 and -1 will make our tangent line horizontal, okay, on the graph. And then what are the points? So now points we can easily find. So that the points are when t is 0, my x is 0 and y equals 1. T equals -1, then I'm getting x equals 13 and y will be 2. You can just plug it there and see. All right, because this one is giving you -2 plus 3 plus 1. That's why it's 2. All right, so we got the points where the tangent lines are horizontal. Now another one, and then I'll show you how to use calculator. Number 4. It's a plot x equals 4t e to the t, y equals 9t e to the -t. So they are saying that plot this. So let me show you in the graphing calculator. So I'm going to mode. From the mode, I need to take parametric form. So right now I have a function here. I'll go to parametric. So scroll down to function and then go to parametric. All right. And then go to y. Now it is giving you x and y. So type 4t and then second ln e to the t. Uppercase t is fine for this. And the next one is 9t second ln -t. All right, now let's go to the window and see what happens. 0 to 2 pi, yeah, it's okay. Now let me graph this. What's the graph? So you can try with your calculator. The graph will look like this. It will pass through the origin, you can see easily. It will go something like this. It will go like this. So the maximum, first we are saying this one, you just plot it, and then they're asking you to find the highest point. Find highest point and leftmost point. So the leftmost point is here and the highest point is here. In the highest point, you know that dy dx is 0, and in the leftmost point dy dx undefined, right, because of vertical asymptote. So when I say dy dx undefined, that means dy dt should not be 0, but dx dt should be 0. In this case, dy dt should be 0, dx dt should not be 0. Okay, so this basically we have to use. First we plot, and then we find the highest point and the leftmost point. So for the highest point, HP, highest point, you have to find dy dt is 0. So dy dt, you can use this one, is product rule. So 9 e to the negative t minus 9t e to the negative t, and set equal to 0. Then you will see that t equals 1, is that right? It will come out t equals 1. When t equals 1, what is your x? X will be 4e and y will be 9e to the negative 1. Okay, so your highest point is 4e comma 9 over e, and next I'm going leftmost. I'm videotaping all this. I'll set later in WebWork, and you can further go and check if you need. Leftmost point. So leftmost point will be dx dt should be 0 now. So then dx dt we need to find. Dx dt will be 4 e to the t plus 4t e to the t, right? And say equal to 0. When you say this, you get t equals negative 1. You can simplify, but you can take e to the t factor out. You get 4 plus 4t is 0. So then t definitely negative 1. When t is negative 1, plug it there. You get x equals negative 4 e to the negative 1. And y will be negative 9 e. Okay, so the point in this is coming out like negative 4 over e and then minus 9e. So this is the leftmost point.